Hello creators, it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations, and today is part 2 of this sale-a-bration using the Honeybee Bundle. From the sale-a-bration flyer, we are casing the catalog, so to speak, and we are making each of these projects. I have already done a Facebook Live and posted it here on YouTube for you to view this card. You can check that out by clicking in the description box below or clicking on the little eye in the card up here to see that video. This was part 1 of sale-a-bration. I've made a video for that as well. Again, details linked in the description box below. So today we are making this beautiful gift card holder envelope, and I am so excited to get started. Hello creators, I am starting with the designer series paper that the gift card is going to be sitting on. Now this is a directional piece, so make sure that you're paying attention when you're cutting it. Eventually, I trim this piece down to measure 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm also going to take a piece of Whisper White, you can also use the thick Whisper White, to back that designer series paper so that it's a little sturdier and it feels a little heftier when you're sliding the gift card in and out. I am using some snail adhesive to adhere that DSP to the Whisper White piece, just to make sure that it sticks well. You could also use our liquid glue, that would work really well also. Next up, I'm going to grab out the DSP we need for our envelope of our little gift card holder. And I'm cutting this piece down to 4.5 by 6.5. And again, just make sure that you're paying attention to the direction if you want it to go a certain way. I'm going to get my scoring board out now, and I'm going to be scoring this in the sample that I'm making here. I actually score it at 3 1/8 and 6 1/8, but I recommend that you score it just at 3 inches and 6 inches. I'm rotating it and scoring it again at 4 inches. And then we're going to trim off some of those excess flaps after you burnish those score lines. I'm taking my liquid glue, you could also use tear and tape, and I'm going to put that onto the flaps and glue this all together. Now again, when I scored mine, I did the 3 1/8 and 6 1/8, and that caused my envelope to bow a little. So if you just score yours at 3 and 6, you shouldn't have any bowing. Although I wasn't necessarily disturbed by the bowing. I think that it helps the gift card slide in and out really well. So I was okay with it, but again, if you didn't like that, you could score at those other measurements. I used the 1-inch circle punch to punch a little thumb hole out of the envelope. And now I'm cutting a piece of the striped paper from the Golden Honey Specialty DSP from the sale-a-bration flyer. And I'm going to be putting this on the front of the envelope as a little accent background piece. Now my measurement on this is actually 2 inches by 3 inches, but you don't see very much once you get that Whisper White piece on top. So if you wanted to see a little bit more, I would recommend you go ahead and cut it a little bit larger. Now I'm going to do some stamping, and I'm going to cut down a scrap of Whisper White so that it measures 1 3/4 by 2.5. And all of these measurements are listed on my blog. You can find the coordinating blog post link down in my description box below. And with a scrap piece of Whisper White, I'm going to stamp one of each of those floral stamps. And I am using the Stays On ink because I will be coloring in a little bit of this with a blender pen. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight to stamp the bee on one side of that cutout Whisper White piece. And I wanted a second generation stamp, so that's why I flipped it over and stamped it again without re-inking to make the image a little lighter. Using that Stays On, I'm going to stamp my sentiment right on top of the bee, and I absolutely love how this looks. I'm bringing in a piece of the Designer Series paper with these flower images, and I'm going to choose 3 of the large flowers to color in with my blender pen and the Coastal Cabana Stampin' pad. And I'm just doing very light. I don't want it to be too dark, and I also don't want the paper to pill, so I'm trying not to color over the same area more than once. I'm also going to color in a couple of the floral pieces on my stamped image. Now it's time to fussy cut those flowers out of the DSP. And if you're not a fan of fussy cutting, don't worry, this is pretty easy. You don't have to be very detailed. You could also just simply cut a circle around these, or maybe even find a circle punch that would fit. But it really doesn't take too long, and I went ahead and just bit the bullet and just cut them. I don't mind fussy cutting, really. I think it's kind of relaxing as long as I don't do too much in one sitting. What do you guys think? Are you a fan of fussy cutting? Leave me a comment below and let me know. And now I'm going to take the coordinating dies from the Detailed Bees dies, and I'm going to cut out those 2 floral images. And next up, I wanted the gift card to have a little place to sit, so I'm using the Hive die from the set, and I'm just going to cut a portion of it out on my little gift card base here. So just run it through with the plate just on the top portion of that die, and you'll have this nice little cutout for your card. All right, now it's time to assemble everything together. I'm going to start by adhering my bee piece to my striped Designer Series paper. And again, you can see there's not a lot around there, so if you wanted more of it to show, cut it a little bit larger. Or you could trim down your Whisper White piece as well. I'm going to adhere those floral pieces on with my liquid glue, and then I'm going to place the flowers that we colored and fussy cut with some Stampin' dimensionals to give it a little bit of oomph and flair. And finally, I'm going to take some Stampin' dimensionals and put that on the back of our little floral accent piece here. And then I'm going to put that onto the envelope for our gift card holder. Next up, I'm taking this beautiful metallic baker's twine from the Sale-a-bration flyer. Because I don't have the Daffodil Delight on me at the moment, I have 3 spools on the way, but it's not here yet. So I wanted to use this beautifully coordinating product instead. So I'm just tying it around the gift card and the gift card base, and just tying a little bow at the end. So it's a little easier for the recipient to pull out, and it kind of looks nice too, I think. And there we are. There is our gift card holder. What do you guys think? I really hope that you enjoyed this project today. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of our project. You can find me online at MKre8tions.com. Don't forget to check the description box below for my coordinating blog post, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!